Good day, good day. How y'all doing? Thank y'all for joining me. Like, look at it. It's a beautiful day out here, man. You know what? Wake up, go outside, and what I want you to do, smell the roses, man. Breathe in that fresh air. Breathe it in. Enjoy life. You know what I'm saying? Breathe in, breathe out. That's what life is all about, man. Sit back, reflect, think about different things, man. Clear the conscience, clear the mind, clear the heart, clear the spirit. That's what we need to do or whatever each and every day. Look at me. Look at this shirt. You know what? A lot of times you got things that you cannot control. You know what you have to do? Guess what? In a positive way, later for that. You know what? Here it is when things not going right or whatever, and you are more or less like right now thinking about doing something negative. Listen, later for that. Listen, if somebody come to you with a bad idea and want you to participate, listen, later for that. Trust me, I know. I am Glaze Gibbs, and this is my story. This is my ministry. Regardless of what, I wish I was strong enough way back when before I got up into the life of crime, that when people used to come to me or I thought about something stupid, that I was strong enough. I was able to say something simple as this. Later for that. Why I say later for that? Because guess what? Crime doesn't pay. It's easy to get in trouble and hard to get out of it. Listen, get your merch. Look into the description box or whatever. You'll see the Teespring. You can get your later for that t-shirt, you know what I'm saying, hoodie. You can get your crime doesn't pay hoodie, t-shirt, the Glaze Gibbs Beyond Lucky. I got the book. I got this right here on a t-shirt, on a hoodie, on a long t-shirt. You know what? On a coffee mug. It all depends upon what you're looking for. Hey, today, what I'm going to get started with on the story, okay? But before I get started, if you're interested in your signed copy, the Glaze Gibbs story, Beyond Lucky, a true story of crack, money, murder, and redemption. And that's what it's all about, people. I was once a sick soul. I did a lot of stupid and foul stuff that I am not proud of. I am not proud of. You know what I'm saying? Here it is. How can, when somebody come at me with something, you know what? How can? I am not a role model. I was a fool. I was an idiot. I did a lot of dumb stuff that, guess what? If you live long enough and you got wisdom or gain wisdom, you able to understand, man, that was not the life. That was not the way. I took it shortcut. You know what? Oppose me, get my lazy behind up each and every day and punching the clock. Guess what? Me and a lot other people that grew up in that environment, we took shortcut. We want to go out there and rob, steal. We want to go out there and sell drugs or whatever. We want to go out there and burglarize. But what? Taking shortcut, taking money, taking, on life, taking situation from hard-earned, law-abiding citizen. And you know what? Listen, when you know better, you're supposed to do better. And that's why I'm sharing my story. My story is the blueprint that can save our children, your children, my children, to stop making that multi-billion-dollar prison system their permanent address. So what I'm going to talk about today is before there was a 50 Cent, before there was a K-Sean, before there was a Allah Justice, guess what, folks? It was this guy. It was this guy right here. Or hopefully you can see the picture. Hopefully you can see the picture clear. It's this guy. This is Marcellus Tiny Lawrence. Before it was Eno, guys, it was this guy right here, Tiny. You know what? Tiny had a heck of a reputation. Okay, back then, growing up in the Bedford-Stuyvesant Section or whatever, this dude robbed any and everything. I'm talking about illegal spots and legal spots. Jewelry store, grocery store, supermarket or whatever. You know, you name it, this guy went at it. Drug spot. You know what I'm saying? Gambling spot. This dude, I'm talking about, he was not to be messed with. And not only that, to add insult to injury, little short dude. Tiny was probably, 5'3", 5'4" at the most. Little short dude. You know, that's my man. You know what I'm saying? We became real good friends, like brothers or whatever. Little short dude that looked like Casper the Friendly Ghost. But guess what? He would come in there and, I'm talking about literally stick up everything and everyone. And I'm talking about, like, even before I knew him, I heard the name. I heard the reputation. And like you think, and everybody hear about the documentary they got on 50 Cent. Everybody hear about K-Sean. Everybody hear about Allah Justice. And so many other guys, you know what I'm saying, like Hicks, IGod, Umajesty, so many other so many other stick-up kids. And you know what? Here it is. It was Tiny. Tiny was older than all of us or whatever. And he put his gun game down. And what you look at is right now, he's a dangerous individual. He was a dangerous individual in the streets of New York City, and also in the penitentiary, in the prison system. And that's how I met Tiny. I met Tiny in prison. And when I met Tiny, it was in 1982 at Fishkill Correctional, facility or whatever. And you know what? Like I say, he had this air about himself. And I'm talking about little guy, little short guy, but, stocky. But he had all the guys that he hung out with in his co-defendant, they was all taller than him, all bigger than him, like 6 foot something or whatever. But Tiny was the biggest. I'm talking about, he was the boss. So he was the baddest. And all those guys, guess what? Flock around Tiny. So when I got to Fishkill, 18 years old, 19 years old, I got to Fishkill and I saw how a lot of Brooklyn class, they more or less catered to him. And they all were sweating him. And right now, when I got there, guess what? I didn't know him. I knew about him, and I stayed far away from him. Why I stayed far away from him? Because of his attitude, because of his personality, because of his arrogance or whatever. I used to see him do things or whatever, and I didn't agree with it, period. So I stayed away from that or whatever. And I remember one time something happened where him and a buddy of mine, got into a beef. And right now, my man was from my hood, period, my project, and he was like a little brother. And me and his family was real close, and we still close. So just so happened, him and Tiny got into an altercation, or what? And here it is, he was leery. He didn't want to fight Tiny. You know why he didn't want to fight Tiny? Because guess what? He know he won't get a fair one. He know that these guys, sometime right now, if somebody getting the best of Tiny, these guys will jump you. They'll make sure, or they'll hold you, acting like they breaking up the fight as Tiny getting his extra punching or hooking or whatever. So here it is, he was scared. He didn't want to fight him. So I'm saying, listen, man, no, we in the gym. We in the gym at Fishkill. And I'm saying, nah, man. I said, here it is right now, y'all gonna fight. And I'm saying right now, it's gonna be a fair one. And nobody better jump in. So here it is, don't get me wrong. It's not like I was big and bad and tough, but I was with right is right, wrong is wrong. And to me right now is my buddy was going to get a fair fight with Tiny and nobody was going to jump in. So, these cats looking at me, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Right now, sizing me up, but they can see the look in the eyes. Even way back then, I had these look in the eyes like I didn't care. So to me, they got into a fight. And you can see Tiny hooking off on them, boom, 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 beating them up or whatever. And then right now, out of nowhere, right? My man, out of nowhere, this guy looked like he closes the eyes. He closed the eye, he took a wild punch, boom. And next thing you know, he hit Tiny. And all of a sudden, you see Tiny, dentures, his teeth coming out his mouth. Woof. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. That's a powerful shot. Period. So here it is, we broke it up. And to me, I'm thinking he knocked his teeth out his mouth. At that present time, I didn't know that Tiny had false teeth. And, when he hit him so hard, the whole denture up and bottom came out or whatever. Like I said, we broke it up. Nobody jumped in. And you know what? It became, even. We kind of signed a peace treaty right then and there. And from that point on, I think Tiny looked at the fact and look at my action, my behavior, and what wound up happening. We became cool. Because once again, he kind of understand that, guess what? You respect me, I respect you, we would never have a problem. Don't never cross that line or whatever. And that's what it was. It's like as time went on or whatever, me and this guy really became cool or whatever. We wound up even getting kicked out of Fishkill together. Because of a racial riot, and while I'm going to Green Haven together. And even in Green Haven together, while we was locked down in a hole or whatever, we even developed a better relationship or whatever, period. Certain things that we, expose and conversate about, and we built a better brotherhood, a better bond. And even when we got there in Green Haven or whatever, I can remember a few situations took place or whatever, that guess what? I had his back, he had my back. So that's what people got to understand, right now, literally, I didn't like the dude because of who he was. And like I say, sometimes people let their name, their reputation go to his head. And you know what? Guess what? He earned that. And a lot of these folks catered to him. And to me, I wasn't one of them. But in the same token, by me standing my ground, I gained his respect. And I knew I had his respect because of every time he came to me with a situation or a problem, guess what? Either we took care of it or we resolved it. So people, what you got to understand is this. You know what? Here it is. Just because somebody got a reputation, and he had one hell of a reputation. Even right now, we never met back up. When he went home, he went home, then I went home. And you know what? Like I told you right now, he went back to jail. And I went to see him a few times or whatever. Even right now is when I got quitted for the murder or whatever, he was back in. I used to send him money to his family, you know what I'm saying, for them to go see him. Whatever he need, he'll call me up. I take care of it with his wife. You know, it didn't matter because that's what friendship was all about or whatever. And to me, it's like always a situation like with him. You know, I can remember some of the last conversation that we was having when he came home the last time when I was doing my bed bit. And I was just trying to tell him, man, listen, man, because every time you look at it and I'm talking to him, he said, oh, schizo. I used to call him shorty retard, and he used to call me schizophrenia, even way back then or whatever. And, you know, he was telling me, yo, man, it was this guy. It was a guy from my neighborhood that was large, and he wanted to get. And I'm saying, listen, man, all due respect, bro, I can't tell you what to do or what not to do. How are you going to go after somebody not understanding exactly what is going on? Saying you going after this individual and you want to rob them, and you get what you want. But what happened is you stumble into a federal investigation. And sometimes that's the case. See, one thing about him, he listened. Because right now, he didn't go after the individual and he left it alone. The guy did wind up getting caught up into the situation or whatever. But if Tiny would have went after him, guess what? He would have got caught up into the situation. And chances are, he probably would have got life. And he would probably still be alive today because guess what? They would get him life in the penitentiary, and you know he wound up dying a few years later because he robbed the wrong person. And that's what happened to Tut. Tut the same way. Here it is right now. Tut was known for sticking up. He wound up stumbling upon a federal investigation, and that's how he got caught up into all the situation that he's in at this present time. Listen, folks, my name is Glaze Gibbs. I say my story is about, you know what I'm saying, redemption. My story is about, you know what I'm saying, getting people to understand. Listen to the words that come out of my mouth. Listen, I am not your typical minister. What I'm doing is minister of my life experience, sharing it and getting y'all to understand. Listen, if I had a chance to do it all over again, I would do something totally different. I am not proud of who I once was, but I'm proud of who I am today. So what I want y'all to do is take it from me. Hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe to my YouTube channel. You know what? Follow me on Instagram, Glaze Gibbs. You know, get your merchandise. Later for that. You know what I'm saying? BGG. If somebody come to you with anything out the ordinary, off the wall, that going to cause you and your family pain, you're going to tell them later for that. You know? Once again, thank you for joining in. Get your signed copy of the Glaze Gibbs book by emailing me, briangibbs1201@yahoo.com. If you have any question, any topic that you want to share, you know what? Listen, this is going to be the people channel. You know what I'm saying? Here it is right now is I'm about to hit 18,000 subscribers. And what I'm saying, I must be doing something right. I don't care, folks. I'm going to talk about the good. I'm going to talk about the bad. I'm going to talk about the ugly. Listen, here, me, what I want to do is I want to live. And I want to share my experience to make sure everyone out there that's at risk can stop making that multi-billion-dollar prison system their permanent address. Take it for somebody that knows. You know, why should you have to go out there and experience what me and millions of others have experienced and we fell at? Take it from somebody that know. Here it is. If I'm telling you, listen, if you turn your head, you know what I'm saying, to the left, boom, you're going to get a big lump up there and you're going to have a headache for days. Why would you do that? Later for that. I just experienced it. And I'm telling you, don't do that because this is what the consequence is going to be. So to me, if I'm telling you, if you turn to the right, nothing going to happen to your head. What's going to happen is you're going to be on the right track. You're going to be heading in the right direction. You're going to have the right life. You're going to have the right family. Your finances situation going to be right. Everything in your life going to be right. By turning right, what are you going to do? It's easy. What I'm going to do, I'm going to turn right. Why? Because it's easy to do the wrong thing. It's hard to do the right thing. Develop working habit, work ethic. And the best thing you can do, folks, is hold yourself accountable. You know, before you can hold anybody else accountable, you must hold yourself. Thank you for joining me. Once again, later for that, Glaze Gibbs.